Attention, little people, I have an announcement.
These commentaries were originally recorded from April to June of 2024. I love the show and people and the focus of the positive, but with all that said, here's what is more. The guests love the show and people too, but are allowed to speak their mind. The critiques they share and opinions they bear are only theirs, not mine.
I think you mean ours?
Well, yeah.
Opinions are kinda like jellyfish, shiny and they're flown and change shape a lot. Not all opinions shared banter reflect our true and current thought. These have been re-edited to keep the commentary in sync. I only needed what I wanted to cut so the track can show a link. So if you hear some silence, you'll understand why, folks. And me and Kev apologize for our incessant inside jokes. Lastly, not all commentaries turned out as good as others. Some days it didn't flow as well, but we always recovered.
And if you're not watching the show along with our commentary, you might be confused as to what we're talking about, which is kind of a given. But if you're like a crazy super fan who knows every detail of every episode, have at it. With all of that out of the way,
Enjoy the show!
Turn that down. There we go. Welcome back to VeggieTales Fan-Commentaries. I'm Finn.
I'm Kev.
And I'm Kendall, or SDA Storyteller, however you know me.
And we're
I'm
watching...
Kendall, or SDA Storyteller, however you know me.
And we're watching Kindle or SDA Storytellers, however you know me's favorite episode, Sweetpea.
Sweetpea beauty!
with the weird worms.
With the weird worms!
Why does it have to be weird worms? Tricky worms.
I like that after Jonah, Laura wears clothes, but Junior doesn't necessarily wear clothes anymore.
Yeah, Junior was, they couldn't decide on him, but Laura, I feel like the girl characters had to have clothes of some form.
Everyone knows that. That's how we can tell different genders, right? If you wear clothes, you're a woman. if you
We
don't.
demand equality. Petunia deserves to... Never mind.
There was at least one animation of Petunia without clothes. I don't know where I've seen it, but I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it. I know I have.
That just feels wrong.
It was a promotional thing or like
it's
a render.
It's fine when Bob and Larry are naked, but when Petunia is,
it feels like
disturbing.
You're
I'll even
witnessing
give
something you shouldn't.
Good golly, this animations. I thought not even the animation,
and it gets so much worse too.
Oh, Kindle,
that hat. Oh,
if you think that looks bad, keep watching. The countertop is probably the best looking part.
Probably.
So
some parts of Snoodlerella were fine.
I'm really excited, Kindle. I am extremely excited to watch this episode, because if you think that is bad, the episode animation gets way worse. Yeah, the motion blur was weird.
I like that begins with Larry saying he looks terrible, because yes, he does.
I look terrible.
I'm so poorly animated. Didn't finish the sequence.
Lost our budget, Petunia.
The lighting.
We've gone under.
You look like you in a fedora. You look nice.
You look like
Petunia. That's hot.
My favorite Petunia quote is "One girl's hairpin is another girl's get out of jail free card." I love that quote.
What you happen to have a guard card?
Exactly.
Did we mention that last time that in League of Incredible Vegetables, her complete character is girl?
We did. Yeah, we did. What is Petunia? Petunia is a woman. She likes to shop. Sometimes she does dishes.
And you don't even see this anymore in television, right? Like, this was something in the 90s. You got like Girl Ninja Turtle. You got like Girl Power Rangers. I think
Spider Woman. Superwoman.
Oh man!
What's up with all these women things? Back in my day, women weren't even allowed to talk.
Oh man!
Back in my day, women weren't allowed to wear pants; so they had to wear skirts and dresses everywhere.
And if you go to an independent fundamental Baptist church, it's the same.
More like independent fundamentalist freaky Baptist church, am I right?
True.
Annie's voice was Allie
Phil's
Naraki,
daughter at one point.
but that was Mike's daughter,
That's Mike's
right?
daughter, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You say Phil's daughter at one point as if she isn't Phil's daughter anymore.
I mean, Annie was once, but okay. For the record, in
Annie's custody gets passed around between Phil and Mike. Yeah.
Oh no, indeed. If you think that is bad, wait until the castle is unrendered. I think I have the original unmastered one. I don't know for sure. This might be the one they fixed a little bit, because they did fix it later on for releases. This might be the fixed one. Because in some versions, it's even worse.
No, they need to go back. They all have to go back home and re-render this. Like, the fact they put this out pisses me off so much. Why?
And they air it on TV, too. It is one of TBN's favorite ones to air.
Oh, man.
TBN loves to air it. They love to air it. Imagine not knowing what VeggieTales is, and you click on TBN, and you're like, wow, looks terrible.
This looks decent right here.
Yeah-ish. It looks better. It certainly looks better than the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, not every part looks bad.
It makes my eyes hurt slightly less.
Part of the countertop looks pretty good. I do like Snoodorella's character.
Oh my goodness.
She's cute. Now,
did the stepsister's eyelashes just turn off for a second? Sorry,
you know that they didn't have enough girl characters when the Step Snoodle and Snoodorella were on every girl's devotional following this.
Yeah.
They just threw Snoodorella like she was an actual character that made, multiple appearances. They just didn't have enough. I do like her squishy glasses. I appreciate the rubberness of them.
Okay, you want to know an easy way to tell how many scenes in an episode of Proud Family I did? Look for Sugar Mama. Sugar Mama, who's Oscar's mother.
Yeah, I love her.
If her eyes move like Pa Grape, that's a Kendall Brett scene.
I need to watch it. I need to watch that show. I really need to watch it.
And
I love the animation. I love the characters.
Oh, thank you. For the animation, not the character. I didn't make the character.
I love the animation that was done by
all
Kendall.
The others is okay. Yeah.
You stole that from me. That's what I was gonna say. But yes, I guess Kev flattered you before I could.
I appreciate it.
Poor Snoodorella, she's so sad.
Aww.
How unfortunate.
So I feel like I know they're trying to expand the world of the Snoodles, but it almost makes the world of the Snoodles seem smaller or more petty, I guess. I don't want to spoil it for you. Can I spoil it for you? Can I spoil I know the
it?
Story.
Yeah, the god Snoodle is seen. He's here.
By making him appear, I was like, oh,
they ruined it.
That ruins the metaphor in the first one.
And plus, doesn't that take away the whole not showing God thing? Because in the first one, he literally said, "I made you." He didn't say, "I love you," like God loves you. He said, "I made you. I created you." He flat out.
The animation has gone back to making my eyes hurt.
He flat out met God.
Yo, Kev, keep a note. Notice how many mirrors are in this show. We've had one on the countertop, one in her room, and then, of course, the villain in Sweetpea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I am your godmother. Pleased to meet you, I'm sure.
The ducks are cute.
Just having Madame Blueberry transcend dimensions is very fascinating to me.
I feel like one thing VeggieTales, well, never mind. I take that back. I was gonna say they generally would avoid having a character play two different characters across two different segments in the same DVD. But that is not true. They actually did that all the time.
Did that happen a lot? I
mean Archibald was the minister, and he was Don Quixote in Sherlock. Shoot, I mean, Good Egg of Gooseville and Little House. Bob was the builder, and then he was the Good Egg.
Okay, I was going to say they don't normally play diametrically opposed positions. Here, Madame Blueberry is clearly a force for good. In the other one, she's actually the villain.
True. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Interesting.
Right? And that's more what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, is there ever a time when a character is good in one story and then completely the bad guy in the other?
I mean, the Don Quixote one is at least he's kind of the anti-hero, if nothing else.
Fair enough.
He's not really like a good guy necessarily in Sherlock. He's just kind of there in Sherlock, to like show them the palace and tell them about the Golden Ruler. Sherlock, by the way, is one of my favorites. I've really grown to love Sherlock. I've always liked it, but I like it a lot more than I ever have now. I don't know why.
It's a beautiful episode. Yeah. Especially really in the time that I think BBC had just brought back Sherlock. I thought that was well done.
Huh.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. So here's kind of my problem with this story about beauty. Because we kind of use conventional beauty as like, what it is. It kind of, I don't know, I feel like the message is kind of lost when it's like, oh no, you had inner beauty the whole time. But she is so, hey, Bob made his cameo. This is uncomfortable to see.
His mouth was very gray.
I like the horses. The horses are...
These should have been in the playset.
Yeah, I think so too. They're cute.
Oh no!
But if you're gonna make a playset out of Sweetpea, there was a scene where that castle was completely black, like pitch black.
Yeah,
it was just unrendered. Like I guess the default, because I guess when you're animating, the things that you're animating are like either gray or black until you render them.
Sometimes.
So it was just
put the texture on.
It wasn't even textured or rendered. It was just a black cube.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yep.
All dancing, all happy.
So this is the fixed version then.
This probably is, yeah. Whatever Music Archive had to share. Gotcha. I have the DVD, but I didn't feel like ripping the DVD.
But you see, here's the problem.
Isn't it sad that the fixed version still looks like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they only fixed a couple things. They didn't even fix the crown floating down the hallway behind Madam. You'll see that later. My favorite animation error is when the crown basically hops behind Madam and then hops through Madam and then hops into Scallion 1 and then glitches a few times.
Oh no.
The whole episode makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, some of the animation isn't bad. It's just they look more like bugs than the Snoodles did before, where it was almost like they didn't naturally have wings. They had a backpack that had wings.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
True.
Now they're all just like bugs.
Yeah, true. I do like the gag of that one guy trying to get a dance.
Yeah.
Poor guy. The way he held his hands, I do like that gag. I was talking to Kev Kendall about Sweetpea, and the way I see it. Also, yeah, they added punch. I'm pretty sure in the first version there was no punch.
There was no punch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty sure. I was talking to Kev Kendall about Sweetpea, and I feel like if Sweetpea, in my opinion, like I said, Sweetpea is my least favorite of the classic show. But if Sweetpea is VeggieTales at its worst, then VeggieTales is a pretty good show.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Sweetpea even then has, the animation is bad, but aside from the animation, why ever that happened, it has some pretty enjoyable stuff in it.
Also, everyone take a drink. We're seeing another thing about reflection. We should make a drinking game. Every time a reflection shows up.
Take a shot.
Take a shot. Exactly.
With my Diet Dr. Pepper.
My water. Gotta get a drink of water.
Sorry, so what happened here? Why is she back to being ugly?
Well, her lipstick. She can't,
It did disappear. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Kendall. She's not ugly. She's beautiful on the inside.
Yeah. I got you. But the soldiers are frozen in place. Like, it's not like the party ended, sure, but they just let her stay in the room after the party ended.
Yeah.
I don't know. She faded into herself, and then everyone else faded away. Maybe the whole party was fake.
That is a terrifying dark color. Not where you want God to come from.
She's like, oh crap, I fell asleep on a park bench and woke up in a castle.
Not to talk about She took a drink every time there was a mirror that knocked her out. Not to talk about my content, but I made an audio episode recently called Minnesota Cuke and the Manhunt for Top Banana, and that's basically the end of the episode. Is Minnesota Cuke realizes he never knew anyone. There was no Martin. There was no Archibald as Professor Albert in my iteration of Minnesota Cuke. There was no Albert. There was no Martin. There was no Julia. And then in the end, Rattan is like, "You're crazy. They never existed. Who are you talking about?" And he's like, "You keep talking about this Julia. I'm going to go leave and get you a doctor." And he's like, "Don't leave," because he knows if he leaves, he'll go away. And then Rattan leaves, and the whole place turns into a white void, and Minnesota Cuke realizes that nothing he ever knew existed.
Existential Minnesota Cuke.
I really enjoyed it.
One. Yeah, I clicked on that one thinking that it was a commentary, and I was like, I don't recall doing a Minnesota Cuke one recently, but let's watch it, see if that jogs my memory.
Did you hear the whole thing? I'm guessing you probably didn't.
I did not, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, I like the end part where Rattan is like, "I need to go get you a doctor. You're naming names that don't exist." And he's like, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." And the moment Rattan leaves, everything fades to white. There wasn't, and now there was no Rattan either. I had fun with
God's
it.
just gone in this scene. He gave her a crown and then...
No, Kindle, God's not dead.
Yeah, clearly.
Text everyone in your contacts. God's not dead.
He's surely alive. He's living on the inside.
Oh,
Those movies are weird.
To be fair, they get you hyped
One might
up.
even say freaky.
I don't know how I feel about them yet. I'm not sure. I need to watch them again. I like to make fun of him a little bit, but I feel like I have to watch him again. The one I watched the sequel.
Oh, okay. I've watched the first three. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I probably need to watch more. But the one I watched, I felt like they tried too hard to make the atheist the villain, you know? Was kind of my take on it. They tried... It was a teacher who, like, didn't just want them not to pray in class, but, like, resented God and was actively teaching against God almost. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it was about them praying in class. The
one I watched was. I might have watched the third
No, I've
one.
seen the second one.
Can we pause for a second? Just on that point about God's not dead. I do want to address that I think there was more Cinderella stuff supposed to happen in that sequence. Because why does God show up with a crown that she left behind at the party when she left? Unless that's a reference to the fact that, like, you know, in Cinderella, witnessed the shoe.
I'm guessing she's in love with God. I don't know. God is the prince, I guess. I don't know. Okay, Pale Jimmy jump scare, but aside from Bleach Jimmy, this is one of my favorite silly songs of all time. One of my favorite.
Easily one of the best 2010s. Probably
all those Tim Hodge
all
animated
time.
pants.
Well, it's in my top 10 for sure. I really like it. See the tag on the back, one size fits all. I love their stilts. I think it's clever the way they can, you know, slide up and down to make them longer or shorter.
This is where the budget went, man. This is the best part of the entire episode.
I know, it looks good. It looks really good. It looks really nice. I don't know why the rest of it couldn't have matched this. It shows you the animation.
The colors were decent.
If Larry looks okay, it's really just Larry looks more like 90s. Funky. Yeah, a little bit. He looks more like 90s Larry. Paul looks okay. My favorite part is in the end when Paul default poses and stares at the screen and doesn't move.
Yeah.
I pointed out when it happens. Very nice animation though. It shows you that Hawaii animation can animate good. They can. I wonder if they were rushed. Because, like, I don't know what else they animated, but I feel like VeggieTales is probably up there on a resume of big franchises, and it doesn't make them look very good. There he is. Look at Paul.
It's just default.
Everyone's reacting, but Paul.
But no, I feel like Hawaii animation can do good animation because they show some good animation here, and I almost feel like they were rushed.
Okay, sorry. Did that crown have an eye?
Did what?
Did that crown have an eye, or was that just the jewels?
Oh, I didn't see.
Okay, because that was creepy. That's some Eye of Providence garbage right there. Like, okay.
But
here's a reference to
Queen
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Kev, remember when I sang this entire song for you and Gord?
I think
twice.
Yeah.
We did a commentary, and Gord was like, "I don't know that song. Sing it for me." and I sang the entire song twice,
Yeah.
or 1 time and a half. I think I stopped. Her attitude spites her, cause deep down inside her. I do like this song a lot. Good song. VeggieTales show looking eyes.
I'll tell you this though. Had this episode looked a little better, I think this song would have been more famous. Cause like, this is okay, so it's not an I. It's just
actually no. I would disagree because Grease from Saint Nick is a banger. Also, Scooter, Purple Scooter. Grease is a banger. All the songs from Pistachio go really hard.
Yes, Pistachio has great music.
Best.
I guess you're right. People don't care about that.
Yeah, I think if it came out past 2003, it's the same thing where people just talk about the countdown, but don't talk about If I Sing a Silly Song. Yeah, see, the mirror in the unedited version actually cuts the frame. I wish I had the worst version. I really wish I had the worst one. Because the mirror just like jumps forward with like a glitch. Oh, you know what? Afterward,
that was the version that was on Netflix. Actually,
we'll watch 3-2-1 Blender's comparison video after this, so you can really get the full experience.
Okay, so how heavy is this crown? Because like this bothers me because the physics don't make any sense.
Also, in the unedited one or the unfixed one, the crown, they have a tiny model of the crown bounce off of the sign in front of Mr. Lunt. It's supposed to look like it's in the background, but they make it go in front of him on accident. A lot of things I really wish, we could see the original. But here's one they didn't fix. Watch. Here's my favorite glitch, my favorite animation error. They somehow did not fix it. Just watch. Look at the crown. There it is. Look at the crown.
That was great.
Second favorite is when Madam
noticed that.
You've never noticed? My second favorite is when Madam goes, I don't care about that crown anymore, and she's wearing the crown, and we come back to the mirror and he's holding the crown. Does Granberry have a nether chin?
Yes. Underneath that part, she has a nether chin.
Interesting.
So
Madam's voice actor did eat. She ate.
There's a fantastic message here about like how sometimes tradition can lead us into like bad habits. Oh wait, are there words on that? I don't think there were words on the original. The key to beauty thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never read any words on that thing.
This isn't one I've gone back and rewatched a whole lot, to be honest. I've seen it plenty of times, but it isn't like one. If I'm going to sit down and show my sister, because when I watch VeggieTales, I'm typically showing my sister an episode she hasn't seen. And I'm not really going to go to this one, typically, not my go-to.
Yeah.
He's kneeling. Look at him. I do like the paintings.
She got him on his knees. What?
I mean, she is Madam. I don't know. I think it was one of those like Henry Haggard anomalies where you have like a really great actor show up for one episode.
I feel like they'd advertise it more.
Look at Larry's hop.
Yeah, he's like floating. Larry's on the moon right now.
Yeah. Also, I don't mean like a Terry Crews like celebrity voice actor. I mean like a lesser known voice actor maybe who's just only ever did one project on VeggieTales.
Right.
Like some Christian voice actor who were like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Larry's hop is freaking me out.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn knows freaking.
I do know freaking. I know Larry he's sticking out his gi out for the Rizzler. Look at that. I hate myself for that. I'm sorry, Kendall.
It's okay. I'm old, but I'm aware.
I figured you would be. You're pretty savvy.
Kendall, do you know the term skibbity?
Yes, of Skibbity toilet fame.
Whoa.
Yeah, I teach a college course,
of
man.
Skibbity toilet fame is crazy. the Skibbity of Skibbity toilet fame. From the hit anime Skibbity Toilet. My favorite Disney movie, Skibbity Mickey. Also, the freaking Stephen Colbert Skibbity Biden. I thought that was a meme. I didn't know that was real.
Gosh, yeah, your politics are weird. We have an election this year. You think we're doing this in Canada?
I know, man. I know.
It is illegal to advertise that you are that you're running for prime minister until 1 month before the election. So, like, we have an election coming up, and no one has said anything. because it's illegal. And then when October or September rolls around, we're just gonna have commercial, right? That's when they have to blow up. But I'm hearing everything about Trump's trial. I'm hearing everything. That's getting political. I'm hearing everything about like Biden, like basically going on weird tangents or challenging Trump to a debate. I'm like, man.
Yeah, there was a good bit of political discussion here, not really leaning either way, but just discussing politics as a whole. I'm personally independent, but I felt like it would be good to cut all that anyway.
Why do you guys have to be the most powerful country on the planet? Stop.
I don't know how we got there. I like the broccoli guy on the wall. I don't know how we got there.
That's what he said. Everyone, that's it. He leaves Trump. He goes home and worships at an altar of Donald Trump.
I haven't done enough research on it, but I just
up next is his Larry votes for Trump video.
Hey guys, Larry the Cucumber here. I just want to encourage you to buy Chick-fil-A and vote for Donald J. Trump. He can make America great again.
That now.
It'll be an entire story where like Archibald comes from England and he's surprised at American politics, and Larry has to walk him through, and it ends with Archibald going, "Oh my, I'll vote for him too."
Oh, Master Laddie.
But for the record, this is what I meant by like, I don't remember there being something saying the key to beauty. Because again, that key was in there when it opened up. Now the key isn't there, but there was not a piece saying key to beauty.
Also, she turned into the first character from the first segment. Look at that. She's the Godberry now.
Yeah. Also, her warts are gonna like be floating half the time she has a conversation. Hey, it's the monk from Lyle the Kindly Viking.
Dear monks, what can I say? My friends have taken your things away. Also, when Paul Great pulls the lever, which I'm not sure why he does exactly, aside from just to abuse Larry, in the original version, that did not move. He moved, but the lever did not move, which was very, very funny. You hear the noise. Like I said, I'll show you the 3-2-1 Blender video where he's comparing them.
Sorry, I love the idea that Sweetpea Beauty, who knew this Bible verse, went to her house, got a Bible to read it to her boyfriend. Like this is one of these like I have a promised rings that my father gave me level evangelicalism.
Ben, that's just what we would call making second mile service second nature, right?
Exactly.
Oh man.
Do they say that at yours too?
They do not.
Oh really?
They do not, but I know what you mean.
Huh. Yeah.
So this reminds me of Larry Boy in The Fib from Outer Space, where like he's slowly becoming more of a threat. The whole, hey, you've got hands. You didn't have hands before. And like, you got legs. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
But enough about me. Let's talk about you, Julia.
That is a good film. Very good film.
Yeah.
I feel like Larry and Petunia's relationship is kind of an I can fix him relationship. In this episode specifically, Prince Larry and Sweetpea. Because Larry seems completely clueless as to anything she's telling him.
Also, these animators need to study eye direction. There's a lot of shots where like Sweetpea is looking at us, the audience, and not like anything that's going on.
She's kind of looking past us.
Yeah.
The animation on Jerry and Archibald, like what is with the hyper realistic armor texture?
Yeah.
Oh, this was a shot in all the trailers. Oh, that is an ugly tower. As someone who worked on Tangled, I'm insulted.
Also, this is really cool. I don't think he was in Duke. That
but
was that night in Duke?
No, but he was in
a book.
Pirates.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
he was. And he was in the book too. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive that is Bump in the Night from Goodnight Duke.
Oh, snap. Is he a character that came from
I think you're right, actually.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was Bump in the Night. Goodnight Duke. Or also, Kindle, I do have some books to send you, and if there are any that I don't have doubles of, you just want to see, I can send you pictures of every page if you want.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I mean,
yeah, I got physical copies. I got physical copies to send you of some of them, but like the ones I only have one of, I'll happily, get pictures of the pages and.
Yeah, we'll go over that. I mean, like the physical ones I'm looking forward to because my son just really got into League of Incredible Vegetables.
Oh yeah, and, he'll love them.
He honestly, he knows very little about the rest of VeggieTales, but he loves the League. He sees Larry Boy. We watched a Larry Boy single episode. He'll be like, he's part of the League of Incredible Vegetables. Where's the League of Incredible Vegetables? And I'm like, oh,
has he seen the new League?
Yeah, he enjoys those. I'm like, I think Leslie had a point on that. Like at first I was like, look, I don't like the League. I want Larry Boy alone, like solo episodes. But my son, he needs a League. Like every time. Sorry, did she just pass the ladder and then she passed the ladder again?
It looks like it. Oh, ew, that shot. Oh. That looks awful.
Yeah.
The skunk is cute. Had he been animated a bit better, like everything else here. But no, I do agree, Kindle. Don't ruin him. Don't show him the League of Veggie Heroes.
Oh. I don't even think I could do that without like bootlegging it. So I almost feel like Sweetpea Beauty has the problem of being too many fairy tales at once. Right?
Yeah.
We just had a Rapunzel reference. Yeah, Princess and the Pea is what you would imagine. We have a Rapunzel reference, obviously Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, the Hunchback of Notre Dame we had at the opening.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of later VeggieTales, they really wanted to shoehorn every fairy tale into their story so they could. Great example of that is Gooseville, but Gooseville does it in a way. Hot take: Gooseville, the lesson is not well taught, but the story is hilarious.
Yeah,
very chaotic, very fun. I really like Gooseville.
I will 100% give you that. I like the Three Little Pigs. Again, I don't think the lesson is well taught. That one actually hits you over the head with it too hard, in my opinion. But the second part is like, it's confusing when they're like, it's the story of the Good Samaritan. It is? What?
I'll tell you a lesser known VeggieTales story that really goes too far. That looks nice. That animation looks good. Yeah. Queasy Rider. Do you guys know what Queasy Rider is?
Yeah, the comic book.
Yeah. Junior, basically, by not listening to his dad, he's going to fall over a cliff into like shards of glass and metal.
And die, yeah.
Yeah, and then he wakes up and it's a dream and he's like, I don't want that to happen. So he goes and cleans his room. To me, that was like, okay, that might be a bit much, That might be a bit much.
I think when you're raised a certain type of Christian, stories like that are not unfamiliar type of thing, where it's like, he didn't listen to his mommy and papa, and he died. Oh no! That could happen to me. Right?
I did love the art style though.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. No, I like Queasy Rider. I just feel like it might be a bit intense for a child.
Well, did you ever watch like Phil Vischer's Albert Wilbur-Whale? My name is Albert
Wilbur-Whale.
Yeah. And
something my skin is pale.
Did you see that the mirror there, like the texture like fell off?
Yeah,
Really?
the mirror's mouth frame rate gets really weird later on.
Yeah.
And this
I
is
know
what I
you're
mean
looking
by,
forward to
like,
that.
that's the same balcony from King George and from Duke and the Pie War, which is why I was like, is this the same kingdom? Or they all just have the same architect?
Well, we do know that this is the canonical threequel to Minnesota Cute because it features worms.
Exactly, worms.
Right.
We didn't even mention that when we saw the worms.
No, we did. We forgot. We were too deep in discussion.
Oh snap! Was there smoke on the thing before? On the potion before?
I
Because
kind of doubt
I
it.
don't know.
I remember it looking like an empty cup, but like pink in the inside or purple on the inside. But I don't know. My memory could be faulty.
This whole episode is foggy.
Like,
I'll be completely honest though. I feel like I don't know. I'm not trying to like, be overly. You can like a show and dislike episodes, but I do genuinely think I like almost everything VeggieTales has made, or at least I can see the good in everything they've made.
Very veggie silly stories.
Even Very Veggie Silly Stories, if you listen all the way, has some pretty neat stuff.
again, my son loves it. Like, he remembers the Snack Bandit episode. Like, I'll be putting him to bed, and he'll be like, "Snack Bandit, Papa, listen to Snack Bandit." Like, I remember maybe 2 episodes of that show, and I now have a soft spot for Snack Bandit because that's like my son's favorite episode.
Oh,
Can he tell that there's any difference in how they sound?
I think I had to tell him that was Larry the first time. But
You should have told him that isn't Larry. That's an imposter.
What is with the cabbage lady on the wall? The human-looking lady with the cabbage.
So she was in the background of George Mueller.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't know. Like, some of those paintings are from Sherlock, and then some of them are from George Mueller. So I don't know.
But no, like I said, there is I can see something good in just about everything VeggieTales has made. I can see the true beauty of it.
Hey.
But yeah, even this episode I kind of like, despite how much I'm clowning on it, I do kind of like it.
I like how
it's just visually ugly.
Whoa,
what was her hair doing?
Your hair gets cut off.
Okay, it is a visual mess. Very ugly.
Yeah.
But Iggy on VeggieTales on Discord, Iggy made a note. He was like, you know what? He said the Sweetpea is not my favorite, but it is a geniusly made episode. He said that the whole episode is about focusing on the inner beauty, and it is the ugliest episode visually.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! Now I have to reconsider.
So it's kind of a metaphor, You kind of have to look past the animation and look at the true beauty of what they're doing in the story.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. That's
which I kind of like to do. I feel like the writing is pretty fun, the music is pretty fun, the character casting is really good. I like it, but the animation is just very distracting. Same with a lot of the VeggieTales show. I really like it, but the animation is very distracting to me because I love expressive, fun animation with good lighting. Yeah. And this meets the expressive most of the time, but the lighting is messing me up.
Mm-hmm. And like some of the weird like green screening, like we saw with like Petunia not being able to move her head past the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I or even now, like if you look around Madame Blueberry in the last scene, her weird anti-aliasing, like she had like a weird black line around her. I was like, oh, that was strange.
Yeah.
Also, the way she's sitting on the shoulders of the chair, on the armrest.
I never noticed that. There's like a space below her.
Yeah.
How weird.
Now she's on the
Okay,
chair.
but guys, when you're fat like me, you'll understand.
Maybe one
It's
day.
happened. It's happened to me.
You're really not, Kev. You're not.
That
Yes,
booty
I
can't
am.
fit on the chair.
That's right. My massive yacht, as the kids say.
Okay, so I want a story in like Star Trek where like religion hasn't survived, but the term gyat has, and they have to figure out where that came from, and they're like, oh, it's a reference to God. Really? the god was called Gyat? No. They're trying to talk about a booty, and they're referencing old Ebonics, like urban slang, where you say, God damn. Who was this god, and why did he damn people for having big booties? No, this was not.
I gotta say, I couldn't worship that god.
See, Finn, I told you that's where that comes from, but you said no.
That is a god I would have to debate.
Like, what a fascinating legacy for Christianity, if that's what its legacy in the future is.
It could happen. We could be ruining future generations. We'll all try to get to heaven, and God will be like, "Do you not know what you've done? I can see the future, and you all have ruined it. You've killed a generation."
People will be living on Mars saying, "Yeah."
Well, yeah, it is a hot day on Mars.
I like how nobody actually, like, with very few people actually acknowledge that this mirror is alive as like a strange thing. Like, this thing was feeding Sweetpea a drink. Ridiculous that he picks up Sweetpea to go.
I mean, like, I'm a talking mirror, you're a talking carrot. Your point was...
Oh boy.
Bumpy,
I do like
bumpty.
Yeah, I like the scatting that they do.
Yeah, I like it too. Very fun. That's the idea.
So I like the construction almost as a metaphor for we're all working progresses, right? And let's get theological here, right?
Do it.
Okay, so the idea of the mirror being the villain, I don't love so much because it does kind of make your physical appearance basically, it almost demonizes the idea of a physical appearance, which is not necessarily right. Because, like, yeah, you shouldn't necessarily obsess, but I mean, within this world, Larry is considered relatively handsome, and he never has to learn this lesson. Like, his physical appearance is never under scrutiny. And also, no one is trying to take the crown from Madame Blueberry. It's all in her head, right? So, if we look at this as like a story of like your own, like, I don't know, like, I kind of want to say that you should be able to take some pride in how you look without becoming vain. And the story doesn't leave room for that. It's either you are an extreme uggo and God loves you for being an uggo, and your stepsisters are gonna and your stepsisters are jerks. Or it is you're good looking and your good lookingness is a threat to other people. Right? Like,
yeah.
Everything that happens to Sweetpea is because she happens to be good looking. She did nothing. Like,
true. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about it like that.
So that should teach us not to put any care into our appearance. That way, nothing bad happens to us.
Yeah, like that seems to be the lesson in this. Where it's like, no, you can be a good-looking person.
Yeah. No, that is true because they never really addressed that later. They only they address the fact that true beauty is on the inside, but they don't address the fact that you can also be outwardly beautiful.
See, though, if that makes sense, I'm not sure if I'm
grasping it the same way you did.
Even if he didn't put any care into his physical appearance, though, Finn, though, like, just, I don't know, he's in danger all the time because exactly. Yeah,
I'm flattered, but I politely disagree.
I'm flattered.
I would disagree with that. You only say that because you're my friend.
What?
This is unbiased. This is an unbiased commentary right now. We speak for the people.
I mean, I can be photogenic, but I also look back on some pictures and recordings of myself and go, yee. Like that freaking redneck-looking picture that Reziel posted of me.
I like that one.
I'm like, man,
shut up.
Why didn't you ask me for a picture? I got a haircut. I shaved. Oh, look at this mouth.
They just stopped animating.
You look better before the haircut.
No, my hair's a little longer now. It grew partially back, but I shaved. I look a little less yeehaw than I did in that picture, and I don't know.
You look better with the beard and long hair.
I do like the picture he chose for the thumbnail in the podcast, which you'll see later. It's from the Phil interview.
Sorry, I do want to address the fact that at that last time the mirror speaks, like the frame rate drops, and like it's frame mouth open, frame mouth closed, frame mouth open. I'm like an anime.
Can't decide.
Oh, man.
What do we do now? Do we smell cookies in the morning?
On the inside, as God says.
Now, what always bothered me as a kid was not the animation. I did not notice as a kid. I was very shallow, and I also thought Frank and Celery was a walking door, even though
You were
Celery
very
wasn't his
shallow?
name. I was, and I still am. But
Sorry, did people
Scallion,
die in
oh
the
man,
plague?
they're so squishy. But no, Scallion 2, never waking up, really bothered me. It really bothered me. I mean, I also hated Penniless Princess because Larry died. But Scallion 3 never waking up, it felt unjust. I was like, he didn't do anything, and now he has to be asleep forever. Poor guy.
Yeah.
That looks nice. Very nice frame. Why couldn't the whole show look like that?
I don't know.
That shot looked great. They're not really actually touching that. It was kind of behind them.
And their hats were clipping through it, so. I like the idea that Paul Grape is gonna. Whoa! How did he get back down so quick? The Paul Grape is like doing all of this hard work. Okay, so I assume all these Middle
Look,
Ages.
Scallion 3's awake. I never noticed that. Or 2, Scallion 2. I never caught that. Never mind then. Sorry, Kendall, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Nope. I was just saying, Paul Grape is building the entire new tower. Like he was doing it before, but I'm like, oh, I thought it was like he was working with other people. No, also, yeah, no. I was like, so, like, is Paul Grape going to be like? Are there no other workers with him? Was that the plan from the start?
Plus,
Like
he's
when we begin
old.
the episode, he's got the what's it called? The tower on the end of one end of its like little catapult thing that Larry gets flung off of, right?
Yeah.
And then now we're seeing him doing all the mortaring, like the putting the whatever the mortar on the side of the bricks. And I'm like, gosh, she doesn't have other workers in this kingdom.
All Paul. All Paul's on Paul.
Mhm.
Poor guy. The lesson is, if you feel like you're overworked, look at Paul Grape.
Mhm.
Building a city.
All you animators who are upset you couldn't finish this episode.
Now, Larry's dance there was amazing.
That was a cute dance.
I really
like that
liked it. In his book, very cute dance. I really like that. QWERTY dancing is cute too. Feels like a classic QWERTY, being real squishy and expressive. I did not like QWERTY talking. That never sat right with me.
He actually had like less of a personality once he started talking.
He felt like AI.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Kev, have you read First Samuel like from beginning to end?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to mention this because this is hilarious. I love that verse happens right before it mentions how good looking David is. It's like the Lord is not a judge of appearances, because he sees the inside, even though mankind sees the outside. God looks at the heart. Wow, what a beautiful story. Next chapter. Now David was a good looking young man.
So it's kind of saying, like, God doesn't judge you for being bad looking, but David, he was really good looking.
For all you reading this book, you may be an uggo, but David though.
Woof, David. Have you seen the statue?
There's like 4 people in the Bible that the Bible actually says were good looking. Joseph, when Potiphar's wife was into him. Saul, because Saul was like head and shoulders above the rest and he was good looking. David. And then there's an Egyptian, just a random Egyptian who gets murdered by while he's taking a drink by the water. And it's like, for this good-looking Egyptian who was killed by the water. I'm like, wait, what?
Had he been bad looking, they wouldn't have mentioned it.
There were some women too, where it says like, and she was very fair to look upon or something like that.
Oh, I'm talking about specifically men, but you're right. You're right. Okay. Women definitely get the description of being beautiful more than the guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I really love Jerry being called Jerry Guard in the credits instead of Jerry Gord.
Goober.
That was funny. I don't know who Goober is. I forgot to mention I really liked the paper bag being brought back from Noah's Umbrella, and Larry's little shrug after that was cute.
Yeah.
It's a good smirk.
You know, another term that they used to describe David with is ruddy, and that means that he had red hair. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, Jacob and Esau had red hair too, so, you know.
Yeah.
So David was handsome and redheaded, just like him.
Yeah. He's
handsome and redheaded.
Oh, man. So, okay, if you listen to the commentary, Mike Naraki kind of like boasts for a second, where he's like, there was a woman who watched this, and she said she was crying at the end, and she said this was the most beautiful thing. She can't believe a man wrote this. I'm like, I don't know. I was crying at the end too, and I was like, I can't believe you guys wrote this.
I was gonna say, I was also crying at the end of Sweetpea. I mean, we all were.
Yeah.
Shelby Huta. I love the names here. Justin Kupka.
Because like the animation in itself, with exception, isn't garbage. Like they move decent. It's the final renders. It is like there's so many other issues, and it just kind of makes the whole thing look like trash.
It doesn't look as good as the Mystery of Veggie Bay.
Yeah.
If you know what that is, you probably don't know Kindle, do you?
Is that not a video on YouTube? Like you guys made something? No, am I wrong?
It used to be on YouTube. If I can find it, I'll show you. I want to commentate on those sometime. Props to the people who made them. They made them all themselves, so it takes time.
It's a ripoff of a Wiggles video called Wiggle Bay.
Oh, I thought it was like Veggie Island being ripped off.
But it's basically like the script copied and pasted, but with
is it actually
VeggieTales characters instead of the Wiggles and their friends.
That I didn't know.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I'd watch VeggieTales over the Wiggles any day.
Kev, I gotta say I do the same too.
I'd watch your mom over you any day.
Well, dang. Okay.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let her know.
So we're not inviting Kev back next time. Kev won't be back. Kindle, you want to co-host the final 10 with me? You got like 10 to go. You're my new co-host.
Hey, look, I would love to, but I miss Kev. I gotta bounce my biblical knowledge off of Kev, though.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I'll take it too.
Hey, man, sure.
I like the Bible.
No, I couldn't tell from all your VeggieTales. Don't think you ever heard of the book. Anyway, I got a dash. My family needs some help, and I've been talking VeggieTales all night. So
not a bad thing to do.
I agree. Anyway, if people are still listening, find me on SDA StoryTeller and buy a shirt on my T Fury shop or whatever. I got some stuff from Shrek and Sonic and stuff. Check it out.
Yeah, I love your Shrek design.
Thank you.
I love it.
Do more. That's my best selling
I haven't seen
shirt.
those yet, but I will be buying right away.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Other than that, hopefully we will talk again. I would love to come back if you do Larry Boy. Yeah. I look forward to your review whenever you do Jonah.
It's the village of Snoostein, where most people say if you visit there once, you're likely to stay. And in turn, the house shook. Alone at the punch bowl, she grabbed a cool drink.
You're loved.
You're kind and you're honest.
Oh, I need more concealer, no?
All is bound to break into pieces tonight. There is doom.
Besides, my cranberry would never have passed the beauty decree if appearance was not the most important thing in the key to beauty?
Queen Blueberry.
Oh.
You rang.
Worms crawling make the flowers smell so sweet.
But, Your Majesty, I don't think you should trust this mirror.
What do you mean?
See you later. This special hot apple cider will cause Sweetpea to sleep forever.
Whoa! You almost hit me! Prince Larry ducked in fear, one detail became clouded. They're right.